Hi, I'm Ramon from olympicpistol.com, and today we're going to talk about shoes for pistol shooters and now also the same kind for rifle shooters. The first thing to say is that you don't need any shoe to shoot a pistol and to shoot very well pistol. In fact, the shoes that I use the most usually are just streetwear, and you will find them in a lot of competitions. You find any shoe that has a flat lower sole and then that doesn't have any kind of air chamber, and that's good enough. It's perfect to shoot. But that doesn't stop us from buying stuff that we don't necessarily need and that can be helpful. But the most important thing for me, anytime, whatever shoe you use, try to keep the same ones so that you have the same reference of when you stand up, so that your balance doesn't shift and then you don't have to adapt to it. I like to wear many different shoes at the beginning of the season so that I have to adapt and I train my balance more and I train my conscience of the balance of my body. But as the season progresses, and especially now that I'm trying to fight lead poisoning a bit more and a bit better, I just keep the same shoes for the range, and I have my shooting shoes for when I'm shooting, and then I have shoes that I take from my home to the range and from my range to home, and as soon as I get into my place, I take them off and I only use them for that. The first shoes I ever got were the Powerlift by Adidas. Very nice shoes, very flexible. This is the main difference with these other ones, very flexible, and the advantage is that you actually can see the incline of the shoe on the side. There's also a picture somewhere that I shared on my social media that has of one of these shoes or a later model that has been cut in half, so you can see it really well, because on the other shoes it's very hard to see. I don't know of any shoe that is perfectly flat like this. There are probably some streetwear shoes that are flat, but I don't even know how to measure it myself without breaking the shoe, so I didn't dig into it. What I did use for these shoes, under the inner sole, I just added an extra like this one. This is like 4 millimeters, I think. I tried different ones, and at the time these were the ones that helped me the most, because as you balance forward, it's very easy to hold it with less use of strength than when you're perfectly vertical. And some people actually like it so that they are a bit towards the back. But I at the time, I really found it easy to balance my body ahead of the vertical. And I was using these things inside it. The next shoes I bought, you can see that this is just a regular powerlifting shoes. These are made for lifting in the gym, and a flat surface also, and no problem at control or any kind of control at competition, because they are super flexible. The next shoes I got, and these are the ones that I prefer and the ones that I use, are the Sauer Easy Top. These are specifically made for shooting. I don't think this reflects the inclination of the shoes. This is looks bigger, but I haven't seen 1.5, and I will not cut these ones. I can tell you that with these shoes I feel a little bit towards the front, that my balance shifts a bit towards the front, but not much, very little. And these shoes I use with an extra pair of socks. This is a 46, all the other ones are at 45. 45 in American, I think it's 12.5, something like that. And then, as you can see, it has a flat sole, but you can see that here there's some kind of like a cup like to suction. I don't know if I think it's made to create some kind of suction. And they are not, they are very hard to flex. They are ISSF good. They will pass the equipment control, but they're very hard to flex, and they're not comfortable to walk with, which is good, because you don't forget that you have them when you go back home, like it has happened to me with these shoes, that I just got home with them and I didn't even notice. And then the last ones I bought, they're very nice too, but I prefer the balance of the Sauer, is the Corami. The Corami, they are flatter. They do come with an extra insole that you can put to make them so that your balance shifts a bit more towards the front. but not much. And I just wore them a couple times, and at the end I prefer the Sauer. Because why? I don't know. I think the balance is better for me and the fit, and I like the comfort, and I shot a lot more with this one, so I'm just used to these ones. As you can see, these ones are super stiff too. They also pass all the controls, and in the bottom they have also a hole here, as like the Sauer did. They have something in the bottom. My guess is that it's to do some kind of suction, but you can see that these ones don't have it, and the streetwear shoes don't have it either. As I said, all of them are good for shooting. It's up to you to think or to see if you need an extra help or you want to buy yourself a gift. And also if you want to keep the reference always steady and make sure that you don't change. For me, if you want to go for a really low budget option, any streetwear shoes will go. If you want to spend a little more and still stay very cheap, the Adidas Powerlift shoes are very easy to find. You can buy them online, and it's also easy to find discount codes. So they end up being very cheap. Then when we go into these shoes, you're gonna be spending about 200 euros or more. And these are harder to find, and especially the problem with these ones is that you cannot find them in store to go and try them and find if the fit is good. For example, this one is a number 46 size. The size is 46 for this one, and this one is a 45, but they are both good. This for Sauer, you take a size that is slightly bigger than for Corami and then for Adidas and the rest. So try to see if in the website of the place where you buy them they have any kind of sizing guides that you can use, or measure your foot, like draw your foot in a piece of paper and measure it. And then if you can go to a big competition where usually the provider, some of the vendors are going to be present, and you're going to be able to test them out. That's what I did long time ago. I went to a competition in Suhl in Germany, and I could try the shoes. I put them on, I found my size, and I took a note. I hope this has been helpful. Let me know what else you want me to look into.